Tell me what Peak Sales Recruiting does and why are its clients so thrilled about it?
Peak Sales Recruiting specializes in finding top sales talent for business customers, and our clients love us because we don't just fill positions, we find people that are uniquely suited to excel in their unique selling environment.
How do you employ the web to seek out and qualify candidates as part of your overall search process?
We have a large research and recruiting team that spends all day long working the internet and telephones to source candidates. And
when you come across a candidate that's a potential great fit for a company you're working for, if that person has a web presence, do you check that out as well, or
Absolutely.
do you just get them in there?
Absolutely. Yep.
What kind of things do you look for?
Well, the most obvious things are Facebook pages, LinkedIn profiles, any personal websites or blogs. The more data that we have available to us on a particular candidate, the more we're able to develop a profile of them. Employers regularly look at Facebook pages and MySpace pages when they're making their analysis of a prospective hire, and I think a lot of people don't realize that and don't take the care to make sure that they're, what they've made public on the internet, and everything that's on the internet is public. I think a lot of people aren't careful to make sure that it's all appropriate for public consumption.
So what are the common mistakes you see people making time and time again as they search for work, whether it's online or in person? How would you characterize the big three things that you really got to watch out for?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing is, probably the number one thing, is not taking the time to tailor their pitch to the person that they're trying to be employed by, or the company they're trying to be employed by. So they might say things like, I'm uniquely suited to any open position that you've got, which essentially says I'm not suited to any open position that you've got. And so, or you see cover letters that are obviously written for hundreds and thousands of recipients, when an employer really would like to see that you're absolutely focused on their opening and that you're the perfect person for them to hire.
What advice would you give an up-and-coming graduate that is looking for the means to stand out?
Positions? But I would say do everything you can to make yourself visible online through every means possible, whether it's Twitter and social media, a professionally presented Facebook page where it's not inappropriate to have social interactions, but just make sure that they're professional, that nobody would feel that they were inappropriate in any way, and your own blog or your own personal website or a site where you have your profile, whether it be on LinkedIn or your own, maybe your own domain, but whatever it is, make sure that you're visible on the web and that you can be found when somebody goes looking for your profession and people who have your skill sets and interests.
Right. So what were your impressions of a wirehunting profile versus seeing a traditional two-page resume? How would you see an online profile from wirehunting complementing a resume?
It's so much richer. You have the resume, potentially some video of the candidate, which is always great because the more customers get to see you, the more they're likely going to like you. You've got their Twitter and their social media interactions, and their blog if they have one. So these things are great. And all brought together. Employers certainly, the more information that employers can have about hiring a person, the higher their level of comfort will be that they're hiring the right person. And in this economy, that's absolutely critical.